All right, we're going to do a yes, no, or maybe for the books I read in the last 30 days. And I think I've read like almost 10 books, and some of them are my physical TBR as I redid my bookshelves. So let's start off with I read The Phantom by H.D. Carlton, because let's be honest, I love everything she has written. I need to get the rest of her books for my bookshelf because those are definitely going to be trophies because I read those so often. Phantom, I read in a night, and it's a chunky book. Loved it. That is a definite yes. Please add it to your repertoire. Next book that I read is Kiss of the Basilisk by Lindsay Straub. I'm pretty sure I'm saying her name right. 10 out of 10. If I could give it more stars, more ratings, I would. That book I ate up in like 2 days. It was so good. I think a second book's coming. I'm definitely going to be reading it. Please read this book. It is not hyped enough about, so please read it. Next book I read for the month is Remnants by A.L. Rook. For sure? Yep. It's the book 4 of the Remnants of Ruin series. I hadn't read it in a bit because her books are always a little bit further out from the last one. And I think one more book or 2 more books are in the series that are coming. And I still picked up right where I left off, and I read the book in like 3 days. It was so good. Highly recommend. If you're into like people with powers, people with shit going on, reverse harem, a lot of angst, it's really good. Alright, so the next book I read, I actually started reading my actual physical TBR because I'm trying to be really good about reading this before I get anything else on Kindle Unlimited because I already have 10 on there and I'm not getting any more until I read more of my 2 shelves right here. So the next one I read this month was Pucking Wild by Emily Rath. I love her writing so much. This is definitely a yes. It's a chunky book. I love pucking around. It's somewhere on my shelf. I recommend that to anybody who wants to jump into like reverse harem but not quite dark romance because that's my bread and butter. I love dark romance, but that one's really good. The banter's funny. Her guys are hilarious. I love it. And then this goes off about her best friend, and this book was so good. Please read it. Please read anything from her because she is so good. I think her 4th one of this series, but they're all standalones, came out today, and definitely gonna read that. It is so it's not her typical, well, I don't know, I haven't read her other books, but it's not the typical ones for this series, but I am definitely gonna read it because I love her writing. As if you can't tell, the next one I read was the next one in the series about the PR social media person in the series. This one's chunky. I related to Poppy so much, not the money wise because obviously I've earned everything I have, but I'm not made from money and I'm not from money. Not that she doesn't work hard, but it helps. But her angst, her eldest daughter, things, trying to be the people pleaser, trying to be everything for everybody. I stood with this book because it was so good and I related so hard to it. Chunky book. I read this in 2 days. This was so good. And is it kind of reverse harem if it's MFM? I don't know. I always think reverse harem is 3 or more, but she has 2 guys, so spoiler alert, but not really spoiler because you kind of get a teaser in the second book, but please read. It is so good. And I finally ripped off the Elsie Silver Band-Aid and I started the Rose Hill series. I could not get over how good this book is, you guys. Like, I was like, okay, is it typical contemporary where it's like cliche storylines? And I'm like, okay, I know where I'm going in the next 3 pages. This was so good, and the banter between Rosie and Ford, give me a moody dude anytime, and I'm gonna think it's hilarious. And like, it's almost like Grumpy and Sunshine vibes. I loved it. I'm currently reading the second one, and I think that might be my favorite. And I'm only like this much in it. I'm not even very far in it, but love this. I'm gonna be getting the rest of her books because between her writing, Emily Rath's writing, and a few of my other favorites, as you can tell, I have multiple. Their books are going to be filling up my shelves. That is for damn sure. And then another one I read was The Wrong Pucking Number by C.R. Jane. Yes, I got it right. I thought this one was overhyped, so I held off on reading it because I'm like, please don't be one of those hockey romances that are overhyped and then you read it and you're like, No, that was so good. Her writing is amazing. I'm going to read the next one. I loved it. Now, sadly, even though I read a lot of great books this month, and I'm definitely going to be rereading them and getting the ones I don't have physically as trophies, I did read a doozy, and this is my maybe even a no, but I might try to read the second book when it comes out. But it is The Poisoner by L.V. Ophelia. It was getting hyped up on TikTok, on Book Talk, so much for some of his one-liners and like just some of the stuff going on that he, like the sound he makes with his tongue. And I'm like, I was reading the whole book on, okay, when are we getting to this? Because it's mentioned for like a split second and then again later on, but then I'm like, it's like they're enemies or they're strangers and they're enemies. Then she's like entertaining it for a second and then they're enemies to lovers and then they go straight back to enemies again. And I'm like, was this even worth it to get here? Like, to me, I was like, would I buy it and put it on my shelf? No. Am I gonna try to read the second book when it comes out to see if it can be redeemed? Also potentially. But that is my maybe, almost no. But all my other ones were yeses. So take what you can from what I read this month, and I will see you next month with what I've currently read. And if those are yes, no's, or maybes.